David Ornstein Bomba. You could say it's a bomber. You could just say it's a bit of news, but we're going to react to it. What David Ornstein has put out regarding Arsenal and Victor Gyokeres. So late last night, David Ornstein came out and said this from the Athletic: Arsenal developing strong interest in Victor Gyokeres as a possible striker signing. Andre Berta, firm admirer of the 26-year-old sporting forward, expected to figure prominently among Arsenal options and may be more realistic than Isak. My thoughts. To be honest, I get where Bert is actually really thinking there because, yeah, Gyökeres is probably the easy option to do because Gyökeres is a release clause. Isak's going to be more harder to get because he's going to cost you more. Then you've also got to do with the player side of views because he's in a project right now at Newcastle where they've just won a trophy. He could potentially get their club back into the Champions League rather than last time around where I feel like Newcastle wasn't fully ready for the Champions League. And I feel like now if they was to get it this time around, they're going to be a lot more better suited to the Champions League because now they're going to be able to spend money now with the PSR rules now over because they've not been able to spend for about 4 or 5 transfer windows due to that. So they'll be able to, in the summer, bring in Champions League quality, be able to improve and boost the squad. So I do get the thinking there. I mean, Isak's probably going to cost you 120 million, 150 million. Gyökeres, I believe, has a cheap release clause. Well, yeah, I won't say cheap, but it's definitely cheaper than Isak's. If we share this tab here, Victor Gyökeres has got 100 million euros release clause. Now, in our currency, that's probably about 70, 60, 80 million pounds. So it's definitely cheaper in terms of the long scheme of things than an Isak deal. And plus the wages, look, they're not going to be an issue with 50 grand a week. We know what Arsenal Football Club are like. I mean, Zinchenko, prime example, he was on 20k at Manchester City. They put him on 150. So they're probably going to put him upwards of nearly 200k if he's going to come and be the big man signing this summer. So yeah, 100 million euros the release clause is 100% easier. And plus, you're dealing with a player side of views. The club can't stop you from paying the release clause, and it's just about Gyökeres accepted. Now, I do think there will be other clubs probably interested. I have seen that Manchester United, for example, are interested in Gyökeres. Obviously, Ruben Amorim, his former manager, is at Manchester United, so there's that possibly that could happen if the Man United was to come in for him. It'd be interesting to see who he would choose. He would probably choose Arsenal due to like Champions League football. You know, they're competing in title races and whatnot. Manchester United are battling near relegation. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be happening next season or whatever, but in the grand scheme of things right now, who do you go to, Manchester United or Arsenal? But yeah, it's obviously going to be 100% cheaper than Isak. I mean, have Arsenal got ahead of the curve? Have they possibly done talks and stuff with Isak and Newcastle's camp? And done their research and thinking, look, Isak's going to cost us 120, 150 this summer. Gyökeres is 100 million euros. It's cheaper. And look, Victor Gyökeres is one of the hot strikers in world football right now. If I share this tab, I mean, for you GA merchants out there, he's played for Sporting in the league, 26 matches, 30 goals, 6 assists. And in the Champions League, 8 games, 6 goals, 1 assist. So he does certainly perform all over for Sporting Lisbon, even in the Champions League. And is this the final piece of the puzzle that Arsenal Football Club need? Do they need just a striker to get them over the line? In my humble opinion, I don't think they just need a striker, because there's been times this season where they've not even been able to create chances, for example. So if you can't give Gyökeres the ball, how are you expecting to create chances? Do you know what I mean? I feel like they need to boost the midfield department heavily. You got like Jorginho, Thomas Partey all going to be leaving for free. Me personally, if I was an Arsenal, I would sell Martin Odegaard and I would go and get someone completely different. Because what their midfield right now is Odegaard, Partey, and Declan Rice. Keep Partey and Rice. I would sell Odegaard and go and get a proper creative 10 who can actually create the chances for Gyökeres. In my opinion, yeah, there's been times this season where if Gyökeres was, there in the box, they probably would have a couple of more points and a couple of more goals. But I don't think it's just necessarily the striker option for Arsenal. Yeah, you could argue that probably last season and the season before. But based off this season, I don't think it's just necessarily the striker option, because there's been times this season when, again, they've not created the chances to even get the ball in the box. So what are you expecting Gyökeres to do? Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like Haaland. If you don't give him the ball, you know, what's he going to do? But if you give him the ball, you know what he's going to do. Do you know what I mean? It's a similarity there. But as a Liverpool standpoint of view, obviously we're interested in Isak as well. So does that mean that Liverpool maybe get a free run at Isak? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But I think Gyökeres is definitely going to be one of the big transfers this summer. I do think he will be coming to the Premier League, if I'm being honest with you. I'm trying to think of other places he would go to. Could he go to a Bayern Munich with Harry Kane, got a 50 mil release clause, potentially could be leaving and he's getting older? Could he potentially go to a Barcelona? Again, Manchester United, Chelsea. So I don't think it's just straightforward. Gyökeres is going Arsenal, but it's a good option for Arsenal, and it's a good step in the direction that Berto has come in and we need a striker. Get that boxed off tick. And I think that's going to be really interesting. I think that's the bigger picture here. Berta's coming in for Arsenal as a sporting director, and he's already analysing the positions that they need to fill in. So I wouldn't necessarily get gassed over the Gyökeres signing. I would be more getting gassed that this guy's come in and he's actually solving problems. He's looking to actually hit the ground running and get the targets and the achievements that this football club needs. In my opinion, anyway. But that's my thoughts and feelings on Gyökeres to Arsenal. Will it happen? We'll have to wait and see. But, stay up to date with the latest football news, Liverpool content as well, watch-alongs, live streams, all that kind of thing. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe to the channel. And let's see, will Gyökeres become an Arsenal player this summer? Take care and goodbye.